3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, Mad Hatter Toy Reviews. Been a few days since we did a unboxing or a review. Gonna probably bring out some old stuff that I might be getting rid of, trying to make room for some new stuff. But took a look at the news today, and San Diego Comic Con canceled. San Diego Comic Con canceled. That's a shocker. I've been going to Comic Con for the last probably 20 years at this point. Last year was the 50th anniversary. It was a big to-do. It's always to-do, and it's always a to-do. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. This is crazy. I mean, it's Comic-Con has been sort of the mid-year event for me since I can remember, and I don't even know what to do with myself. I know obviously I'm making it sound like it's the freaking end of the world. It's not, but it is a bummer. WonderCon was a bummer too, but yeah, it's I will say that it was hitting critical mass lately. I mean, it got to the point where it's just like, no matter what night you went on. So if you've ever been to Comic-Con, you get it there on a Wednesday, which is a preview night. Then you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, sort of like a shorter day, just to kind of clean up on stuff. And yeah, for the past 5 years or so, it's just been nuts. It's always been busy, but sometimes you can kind of like avoid super huge crowds depending on when you get there. Preview night was usually lighter, but last few years it was just, it really did just hit critical mass. And and I'm talking about, you're just trying to move around in the aisles and you're just squeezing through sweaty bodies, and it's just, people everywhere. And yeah, so it felt like either they were going to have to expand. I mean, there was talks at one point where they're going to maybe move Comic-Con or figure out a way to kind of expand on it. But this, nobody saw coming. Just canceling Comic-Con, which is unheard of. I don't think it's ever happened. And yeah, I don't know what this means. I mean, that's going to hurt a lot of people. San Diego Comic-Con sort of, or the city of San Diego kind of relies on that revenue. And then you have all the booths and the vendors and yeah, so I guess we're all going to be sort of, I don't know, we're all going to be celebrating virtual con, I guess, and looking at reveals online and looking at statues online and looking at Funkos online and NECA and all that stuff. And yeah, it's going to suck. I miss sort of the big hoopla, and yeah, sometimes it's exhausting and you can't find parking, and that dude said something and you want to punch him in the face, and this guy's sweaty and all of that crap. But like, yeah, it's really going away for at least this year. Who knows what's happening next year? If they don't administer some kind of vaccine by next year, maybe next year will suck too. I don't know. I have no idea, but I don't like it. So you Corona people, do whatever you have to do to fix this and address this, because Comic-Con needs to come back. And yeah, I'm really wondering if New York Comic Con is going to be a thing. I think that's towards the end of the year. I've never been, but if all of this sort of settles down by then, I see maybe a bigger influx going into there. Or maybe people are just going to be freaking gun shy and still paranoid about going anywhere. So who knows? But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's just a bummer. So thought I'd sort of discuss. Yeah, and I'm wondering what the after effects of this, like what happens. I mean, even if they open up Comic-Con the year after, are people going to be sort of accustomed to not going? Is it just going to be too much controlled and not controlled chaos? I mean, if you've ever been to Hall H or seen sort of the Hall H hoopla, I've only been there a handful of times, but it's just craziness. I mean, you just got people sleeping on the block, like a mile long of people camping out and just sleeping on the streets, and they're waiting to get in for 2 days to see a Harry Potter panel or Twilight or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that now. I don't know if it's if people are going to want to do. I mean, it was, if you're any kind of a germaphobe or or scared of you know, contact with too many people, that was not the place to be, because yeah, again, it's just thousands and thousands and thousands of bodies, just a sea of people. Even when you go to the gas lamp district, you know, you go to Comic Con, you take a break, you go to the gas lamp district, you go to Spaghetti Factory, you get yourself some meatballs and get away from it for a little bit, but then you just go back into the madness, and you're just bumping people, and it's just, and I just don't see that kind of environment happening for a while. I mean, people are just going to be, this is going to hurt, and people are not going to want to be surrounded by just throngs of people in the summer heat. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if New York Comic Con is getting nixed. I mean, a whole non-Comic Con year, that could be on the horizon. So I don't know. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, hopefully they do reveal some good stuff. Anyway, you know, I'm sure, I just saw a Super 7 video. They're talking about some figures that are coming out. NECA's going to do their announcements. Funko will probably do their announcements in May or June or something. And then the statue, I'm gonna miss the statues. If you ever been to Comic-Con, you know what I'm talking about. You go to that sideshow booth, and it's just like, just glorious cases of statues, and I would just end up going to the floor and just visiting those statues and just taking multiple pictures. And last year the big one was the Juggernaut, which I thought I was going to get, and I just do not have room for, but I will be selling some stuff, and maybe down the line I'll get that Juggernaut. But anyway, just the statues and the Hot Toys display and everything, and just that excitement. Yes, I will miss that, but hopefully they have some good reviews, or some good previews. Prime One, XM, Sideshow, Gentle Giant, I think is still doing stuff. Super 7, all those guys. So we'll see, and hopefully we can kind of talk about them here. But let us know what you think. Were you planning on going? I have a bunch of friends that, I mean, pretty much everybody I know is planning on going, and they're nixed for this year. And I guess Airbnb is doing a thing where they're not refunding people because it's something about this is like not an act of God, or it's not an unforeseen thing. So it's just, or they're only refunding people 50%, which that's effed up. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, although I did read that the badges are carrying over. So if you did have a badge for this year, carries over to next year now, and you don't lose that. So they didn't pull a South by Southwest and just say, no, we're not going to refund you. You know, they actually are at least giving you next year's accommodations or tickets to next year, if you can even go next year, if they even open up next year. But anyway, let us know what you think about this unprecedented turn of events, although we kind of knew it was coming. But yeah, that's it. Comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about, what do you think about all this Comic-Con business? You know, I'm sure it's just a tiny blip on the radar of the world, and there's much bigger problems, but, you know, we like the things that we like. So yeah, subscribe,